G'day folks, welcome to this continuation of A Time for Trumpets. This is the introductory 7th Army scenario. It's the start of the 16th evening turn. So it's our first dark turn. We've gone through 2 day turns. And I've kind of run through some of the introductory stuff. You'll notice there is an American unit here out of comms. Supplies, of course, checked on the pre-dawn turn, but they will be out of supply if they're still there. We also did in fact, I'm going to change this because I had an idea, infiltration for this unit down here. They can't be attacked down here. It's a bit of a long story, a couple of rules surrounding these guys down south. I've also placed the 5th Fallschirmjäger command post. This is an errata counter basically that I've printed off and mounted, so it looks a bit weird, but that extends their control further to the west. I have done other start of turn stuff like placing some engineer ferries. I know where they are now, so they've been placed. And yeah, we're ready to go with the German movement phase. There's no additional bridge construction. Bridge construction continues in a couple of areas, so that goes on as normal. We have, what have we got here? I need to be mindful of the fact that this is a dark turn. I could be a bit rusty on the rules surrounding that. It'll probably come up mainly in the charts as we come across some various effects for things in these dark turns. Evening turns, basically. Now, I've got 2 of these in a row. I'm just trying to look through quickly to see if I've missed anything. Trying to remember what the of course it's combat. So combat is shifted to the left during these night turns. Various columns shift, at least one to the left during a night turn combat. So I think we can get going, and again I'll head up to the top first. We'll look at the 85th Corps activation first, then I'll shift to the south and do the 80th Corps. So here's their headquarters, and they're drawing supply. I'll just cover it very quickly out to 5th Fallschirmjäger here, and to, where were they again? I've lost them again. There they are, 352nd down there. And they, spread command out to the rest of their units. Now, out of command, the biggest penalty for these Americans out of command is that they cannot draw on artillery support. Now, we're almost at the end of the first day as well, and this is only a 7-turn scenario, so the Germans really need to get pushing because they need to reach these objectives by the end of the 2nd day, basically. So they've got a fair way to go. We can pretty much get going with their movement. I'll very quickly triple check the German reinforcements on page 13 of the playbook, but I don't think there's anything for the 7th Army. No, there's not. No, nothing happening for the 7th Army. So let's think about what we want to do here. We have got, incidentally, the Americans also, when they had their turn, they built some improved positions, one here, and one further down to the south, down here, almost on the map edge, basically. We do have engineers up here. They would love to convert this to I think it's called a strong point, which looks, looks a bit like a fort. But it's unlikely because I think the Germans are going to move straight in. I'm not so worried about this hex up in the north. I need to capture Bushhide and this CP here. It is a clear turn. We're still suffering traffic jams in the north. The impact of those traffic jams, I'll double check that as well. Traffic jams. 7 Panzer Army, evening turn, any road movement northeast or northeast of the Sour River costs 1 movement factor per hex. So moving around here is 1 movement factor per hex along those roads. Okay. Oh, we activating a core, so we need to do a core event. Let's look at events in the 7th Army area. Okay, so +1 for Ektanak, +2 for the Americans for Hala, -1 for Molothor. So it's a +1 modifier. Let's see what it is. It's a 6 +1 is a 7. It's not going to be good for the Germans. It's a result of F, which is US artillery destroys the bridge under construction at Ektanak. It is eliminated. It's this bridge down here that is eliminated. I don't mind so much because that bridge would only really open up, this is using Army Echelon engineers, it would only open up at the end of the 17th anyway. So it's not going to be of great consequence. So we need to drive here, would like to get these guys, that's going to be a tough defense there. How do we get to here? It might be better to try and cross here and work our way down the west coast of the Sour River rather than trying to get through Dekirk. That's going to be tough. We also need to get these guys out of the way, to be able to clear down through here. So maybe I should get through Dekirk anyway. All right, let's get going. I am going to... This is only a 3. Oh, there's four combat factors up here. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. No, I'm not. I'm going to go... I was thinking about the possibility of a flanking attack, but it's not going to be feasible. So I'll try and bring in those guys, and I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 across that river. That's going to give me 13 combat factors for a base of 3 to 1. It's going to be difficult with night combat in a village, but we'll see how we go. I might also get traded combat off in here. Oops. 1, 2. $3.52. Incidentally, just to follow up on the last video as well, I resolved that units that start next to a river can retreat across it. Units that don't start next to a river cannot retreat across it. So we had 1 battalion eliminated from the 276. So I will point out my combat sort of as they go. There will be an attack here. There will be an attack here. I'm just trying to figure out how much I should bring in. It's going to be tough across this river in a village, broken hex, so broken village, river. There's a couple of bad factors there, and all my artillery is way over here. It might be better just throwing everything at Dekirk. It's only 3 extra factors. If I go 1, 2, 3, 4, if I throw everything I have, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, that's going to be 25 on 8. Rather than splitting into 2 weak attacks, I'll do 1 strong attack, which will be flanked as well, and I'll throw all my artillery that can reach. A lot of it's going to be out of range. All right, now I did bring up some units to cross this bridge, and here they are. So they can go 1, 2. How much does it cost them across this forward? +7, 9. I've only got a movement of 8. I don't recall reading anything about minimum movement rates. Hey Blue, welcome. I was just looking at your, I think it was your Fields of Fire video earlier today from about a week ago. And the shorts that you've been doing. I'm trying to figure out, this is the same problem that I had last time with not being able to get across this river, because it costs +7 for light or medium units to get across. And if I don't spend that, what else do I try to get across? My Nebelwerfers are all in range of that target, so they don't need to move. These guys, probably the Fusiliers and trucks. 1, 2, or 1. Truck into broken is 3, so 4 + 4. They can't make it. So I don't know. I don't know what the point of these. I'm probably missing something glaringly obvious with these forwards, but I can't seem to be able to ferry anything across. Maybe I'll just get the engineers across. I'll cross my engineers over. The engineers can ferry themselves across. Oh, hold on, we've got some artillery here, don't we? Yep, horse-drawn artillery. 6, maybe they can get across. Let's check them. So they're going to cost, for horse-drawn, to move into broken will cost 2. Actually, AFV into broken is 2 as well. So it'll be 1, 2, 3. Here we go. I can do it. They'll go across into there. And then the horse-drawn, I'm pretty confident they get across. It's 2 into broken. +2 is 4. They can go 5, and then let's see, range 4. So I'll stop there. Why not? One more, 6. So this is the hardest part about this game. The trickiest thing about this game, the most difficult aspect of this game, is the fact that every different type of unit has a different movement cost, and it varies depending on whether the ground conditions. So, for example, this horse-drawn unit, this horse-drawn artillery, you can see the small superscripted H there. It's horse-drawn. So you need to look at horse-drawn combat type units on the movement chart. Every terrain is different. So you might be moving through roads. That might be modified by events or traffic jams. So there's traffic jams here. So the horse-drawn movement rate is now 1 per road hex in this area. It's also modified by ground conditions. So if the ground conditions are muddy, the cost differs. If it's frozen, the cost differs. If it's firm, which it is at the moment, the cost is different. It's further modified by the atmospheric conditions. So fortunately it's clear right now, so it's pretty standard, but I was playing a different scenario earlier today. I was playing on Vassal, a scenario further north with the 5th Panzer Army, and they had dense fog. And I'm moving around, I was playing this scenario for several hours, and then I realized, oh, of course, units that move in dense fog add +1 to enter each, or many, hexes. And the cost, well, first of all, I realized the cost for moving along roads in dense fog was increased to 1 movement factor per hex. Then I realized the cost for moving through Schnee Eifel is basically 2, it's just, there are these variable highly variable movement factor costs. And every time you go to move a unit, you're like, there's this caution, like, what's the ground condition? What type of unit is it? What's the weather, atmospheric condition? What army region are they in? It should be pretty easy, really, but the Schnee Eifel got a bit confusing. Yeah, that's the Muller-Thal situation. It's pretty easy. It's all summarized in 3 paragraphs. It's really weird. They're invincible. They just cannot be attacked. That's the movement exceptions aren't difficult to grasp. It's the hardest thing I'm finding, as I said, is the variable movement costs. And like I said, I scrapped this whole scenario. I was playing for hours and hours, and then I realized the Germans were doing really well. Through dense fog, you don't have zones of control. That's the other thing, variable zones of control. Let me show you the zone of control chart. So up here you can see dense fog. No zone of control is exerted into an adjacent hex by any unit during dense fog. So it's really remarkable. No zones of control. So the Germans were zipping about, and I was having a blast as the Germans. And then I realized, there's extra road movement costs through the Schnee Eifel. And then there's extra road movement costs, or extra cost period because of the dense fog. So it's just, everything was undone. So yeah, I've been playing on Vassal a bit. So yeah, bringing up this artillery, they can still shoot. They're within range of 8. They're in 8. They have a very short range with those guns. That's why I brought them up. So I don't know what they're going to do, but I need to check if there's a minimum cost. I might bring these. I've got the armor up there. We'll go 1, 2. I can't overstack. So this armor just can't get across these bridges. I can't get across this river on the 16th of December. So that's what the 5th Fallschirmjäger are doing, just 2 attacks. Trying to get a strong attack here and trying to get a strong attack down here in Dekirk. We've also got the 352nd to think about, and they're all locked in around here. They can't go zone of control to zone of control. As I say that, I'm thinking, okay, do out of comms units exert a zone of control? 7.14. I seem to recall they still do. Penalties for being out of comms. No defensive positions. Artillery units can't fire. No artillery support. Yeah, so they still have their... They're going to get smashed though, I will say that. There's only 2, 3... Oh, they're in a fort as well. So what else can the 352nd do? Not much. Got all this armour. Stuck behind 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll get them down. Can the blue unit not zigzag their way through ZOCs? No, because once you enter a ZOC, you've got to stop. So you're kind of locked in. Yeah, so starting next turn, this unit could go to there, but this turn they've moved into the ZOC, they must stop. Next turn, they could go to here if they wanted to, but then they'd have to stop there. What I want to do is clear these guys out of Dekirk, but it's a town, it's going to be tough, and it's at night, so this is going to be, I think this could be bad, basically, for all the Germans. Not to mention the fact that this is their 3rd turn in a row. They're going to be, I think, fatigued on the next turn. Okay, how much do I need to throw at here? So this is going to be 3. I'm kind of thinking, do I pull some units back and try and attack across the river to the woods? Or do I throw everything at this hex? I've got 8, 9, 19, 19 plus 8, 27 on 3. But like I said, that sounds like a lot. That's 9 to 1. But then it's a town, fort, knight, which is going to throw me way to the left. Town is going to double the defender's strength, and 1 to the left, plus 2. That's going to be double defensive strength is 6. So it's going to be 4 to 1, 3 to the left. It's going to end up at like 3 to 2. So I think I'll throw everything at this and just hope for the best. Throw so much more artillery at it, try and increase my odds. I might throw the Nebelwerfers at this region. All right, so that's just it. 3 combats going on. And we'll attack this hex here. They've got a village as well. So I think I said I had 27 factors. They're in a town, so they're doubled to 6. Now I know they've got 2 to the left for the fort. They get 1 left for the... Oh, it's not a town, it's a village. That's the town. Ah, they're not doubled at all. It's 9 to... So they'll be doubled. That's the one where I need to throw the Nebelwerfers, because that's going to be a defense of 8. Okay, got to remember that. Nebelwerfer attack. I might do that attack first and see what happens. That way I'm done with my Nebelwerfers. So here I've got 25 on 8. Oh, but they're doubled to 16. I'm already worried. 1 to the left. They have the ER superiority for +1. I am flanking, which is -1. There's no fort here, which is good at least. Okay. What else have I got that can help? Artillery. So now I've got to bring on my artillery, I think, to try and increase this to 7 more factors, basically. So I want to bring in the Nebelwerfers, and I'm going to go, what have I got here? 8, 16, 22. 27, 27, 33, 33. And they're attacking into a town, which halves them. So 33 goes down to 16.5, rounded up to 17. That's pretty impressive. They had a lot. 42. Okay, I want to throw some artillery in here as well. So 16, what's the next sort of factor? Again, keep in mind the Americans can throw their artillery up as well. What artillery do they have that they can fire? They've been moving up. They've been moving as well, so they're not available. They don't have much. Where is the American artillery? I think it's stuck. It was retreating, basically. It was set up very too close to the front line, so I've pulled it back, and there's nothing in range. So now that the Germans know that, the Americans have no artillery that they can throw at this hex. These guys have been rushing up. They've come from out west, I seem to recall. Yep, no American artillery. So if I can get 16, 32, 38, 48, if I can get 6 more factors via my artillery, so I can do the maths on this. I know the artillery is going to be halved in town. If I need, what I say, 42, I need 48, I need 6 more, so I need 12 more. So I can go, I have artillery all over the place. So I might spend that core level and that 5 and that 5, which gives me +6, which gives me the 48 I need to have 3-to-1 odds. That's a lot of artillery to get there. and then it all comes down to this die roll. So I mean, that's a lot of attack factors, combat factors to bring into one attack. And I mentioned that, so I've got the flank attack, just checking the weapons effects to see if anything else applies. I don't have any engineers. They don't have any engineers. So I think that's it. They've got, as I said, +1 for the ER. And I think that's the only modifiers they get, just the +1. So that cancels out and that cancels out. So we're looking at a base 3-to-1 combat roll. Let's see how we go. Germans really need a low roll here. So basically 3-to-1, anything less than a 3 or less, so 50% chance of a good combat result here. Oh, it's very good. Or mixed. Okay, so the 6, 3-to-1, the 6 does no result. They got lucky there. A 4 or a 5 would have hurt them. A 1 here causes a DR3 result. DR3. Just double checking all this. Yep, DR3, okay. So 1, 2, 3. And they can, okay, so this infantry, DR3, they can be in 3 hexes. First hex has to be in here, and then they can go 1, 2, 3. Did I include 1 shift to the left? No, I didn't. Thanks for that. Oh, that's a DR2 result. Okay, so one hex less. Thanks, Blue. And advance into the hex +1 more. They'll stay there. Okay. Second attack out here, because this is, I think, probably the second most important attack, just getting these guys out of the way. Now they're out of comms, and well, there's no artillery for them to draw on anyway, so it doesn't really matter, but they've got a defense of 3 in broken in a village. So we're looking at 3, and from memory I think I had about 27 on attack. Hey Adam. 8, 9, 19, 19 plus 8, 28, 27. 27 on 3. We're looking at +1 for village, +1 for their ER. Yeah. Commonwealth gathering. What else? Broken. Okay, broken at night. Broken terrain at night is going to give a 2-column shift. Now they flank, so that's -1. So they cancel each other out. And let's bring in, well, what are we looking at here now? So we've got 9-to-1 +1 with 2 to the left gives us the best column shift possible. So I don't need any artillery for this. I may as well. I mean, there's no other, I've got some combats that, some artillery that can't reach all the way over here. But there's no point. That's the best I can hope for, really. 9-to-1, 2 left to 7-to-1. So that's a 7-to-1. Cancels everything out. +1. And it's pretty good. That won't cause any casualties. And the 3 +1 is 4. which is a 1 DR1 result. So 1, I'll take a casualty. One DR1? Yeah, 1 DR1. And they can't retreat because there's no friendly, it's basically surrounded by enemy zones of control, so they're eliminated as well. And the Germans can advance. Yeah, so the dense fog was very interesting. It cancels zones of control. So you think, what I was thinking at the time was, hey, you can just roll around these allied positions, but then you're paying extra movement to move anywhere, and you just can't get anywhere, including along roads. So road costs are increased for dense fog. It's basically one movement factor per road, primary and secondary. So you can't really plus. Yeah, it's really expensive to get anywhere. So they couldn't go anywhere. Hey Julie. And as I said, I messed up the Schneeifel. Got halfway through the turn, and I realised it's a whole different weather zone in itself. Where is this Schneeifel? It's way at the top. Let me show you. Oh, it's way up, but Schneeifel. Sorry, this is my little cheat sheet. It shows me where all the off-map reinforcements are. So rather than setting up the whole west map, I just had the units set up and I could quickly see how far they had to travel. And this is Schneeifel. You can see that little white border there. That marks a separate weather zone, weather area, which is snow squalls. And it's 2 movement points per rotex, which just stops all these Germans in their tracks. Literally in their tracks. All right, so we've got good combat. We've secured Dunkirk, which is great. That was a tough nut to crack. Brought everything down. But what this does is it kind of opens, well, we've killed a couple of American units as well. It's opening a path down this way. What I really need is this combat to go well, because that'll open the west side of the Sewer River. We have got 4 combat factors. So this is off from the top left of the screen. I might move the camera around, just give you a better view. We've got 4 on defence, and we've got 13 on attack. I'm going to throw the rest of my artillery at this. So what other artillery have I got? 6, 10, 10. That's core level, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 19, they've fired 19, 19. I might use both my core level, army level, RD pieces over here. So 19, I'm just going to check if they can reach. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nope, they're not going to get close. So it's 19. And they're firing into a village hex, which is wooded terrain, which is full combat factors. So 19, that's good. Artillery. These aren't never weapons. It's clear weather into the woods, which is full. Yep, so 19 plus that, we're looking at 32 versus 4. And once again, no American artillery in this area. They got caught. Just for those tuning in, American artillery was set up too close to this area. I think I had one set up somewhere here. So they've packed up and have retreated behind the lines. And this was the turn when they were like, okay, let's set up new positions. So they moved quite far back. And I was thinking, I didn't plan it very well. They're all undeployed, basically. They're all on their march side down here. Yeah, caught out. There is some more artillery down south to help 4th Division, but not up here around 28th. So that's a good artillery bonus. We've got a unit across the river, so we don't suffer from that penalty. And, okay, let's look at this. We're attacking Woods Village. So they get a +1 for the village, +1 for the ER bonus. The modifier, nighttime. Broken is, not broken, sorry, it's Woods. Woods is just 1 to the left. Pretty happy with that as well. And there's no engineers here, is there? We've got reconnaissance. Oh, there are engineers there. So it's another +1. And the reconnaissance unit, well, it's not a fog, they're good on fog, snow, night turns. It is a night turn. Okay, that gives them another +1 modifier for that recon. So +1 for the engineers, +1 for the recon. They're pulling out all these good, that's +4 modifiers, and I can't do anything to negate that. I'm not flanking, I don't have recon myself. I don't have engineers myself, just this Paul Fallschirmjäger. So that gives me has my learning at Time for Trumpets become my personal dense fog, no zone of control? It certainly feels like a dense fog at times through my brain. Mainly, like I said, the rules is written, big rule book, very procedural, but okay to grasp. It's the details on these charts. I keep missing little details, and the fact that there are, I mean, this is a zoomed out view of my chart sheets. They're everywhere. It's command sheet, that's less important, but it's all these little things here and here, and the footnotes and footnotes here, and don't forget this little note over here, and oh yeah, you forgot this is a dense fog note. This isn't in the rule book. Oh, there it is up here. This is not in the rule book. That is not in the rule book. So you don't know these things. You've kind of got to study the charts, like really, really study them and look closely and read every little footnote and go, ah, okay. So this footnote here says in a dense, this symbol is referenced here in the key, and it means that +1 to enter a hex during dense fog, if not following the path of a road, at night. Yep, okay. So it's just kind of like, you got to study it. So we have got here 8 to 1, shifted 1 to the left to 7 to 1, plus 4. 7 to 1. 7 to 1 plus 4. We need a low roll here. This could still work out bad. This is the best column. 7 to 1 is the best you can get. The chart only goes up to 7 to 1. But a +4 could give us some pretty bad results. So we need a low white roll. A 4 plus 4 is 8. That's okay. It's a DR1. No penalties. A DR1. Sorry, improved position. Yep, that's fine. DR1. And this has no effect on retreats. So they do have to retreat out of there. 1 hex. And we have captured Bushhide. Just. What that does is, do I attack with both, or do I watch my rear? That now enables me to kind of swing down. Yep, okay. So good combats for the Germans. 3 combats. They focused on 3 important hexes. Night combats as well. Not easy. A lot of detrimental modifiers, but yeah, they got it done. I've got an extra objective mark. I don't know where I got that from. I'll have to fix it up later. Right, that's it for, so things are getting quicker. That's I am moving faster. That is the 85th core done. There's no exploitation, so we shift along to here, to the 80th Corps. 7th Army, 80th Corps headquarters are here, and they've got the 276 and the 212. There it is. Yep. What's below them there? Okay. So first thing we do is we check and roll for an event for these guys. I rolled for the I rolled for the wrong event. The event was actually this bridge at Ectonuct is destroyed. So it's not that bridge that was destroyed. Sorry for those watching earlier. This bridge is... It's the Wollendorf bridge that is damaged. Place the bridge damaged marker. The Wollendorf bridge. 965. I don't know where the Wollendorf bridge is, but it's damaged. It'd be up in this sector. So when I rolled, I've checked the wrong table, basically. Wollendorf Bridge. Just says Wollendorf Bridge 965. Right in the middle of the map. You can see it. I can't. Wollendorf here. So that bridge is damaged. It's still blown up, so I don't know. It's resolved using procedure 75.3. Section in the bridge section. Oh, jeez. Section 60.3.1. I don't even know where that section is. Procedure 75 to consult procedure 75.3. I have no idea where procedure 75, here it is, 75.3. Okay, for bridge construction is in progress. If there's a bridge under construction at the start of the random event, place a damaged bridge marker. At the start of the bridge construction phase, next turn, if a bridge has a number on it and a damaged bridge, then it just basically delays it by one turn. Okay. That's all it does. Just delays construction by one turn. And like I said, those bridges aren't too important, but it was the wrong bridge. I think I'd factored in, I think I destroyed this bridge instead. All right, so now we roll for the Ectonuct bridge, and sorry, not for the Ectonuct bridge, for the 80th Corps event. Actually, the modifier should have been different. -1, Fuhren and Bettendorf. finding these locations. Furen was under German control, so it's -1, -2, and Bettendorf. Is this one here, right? No, that's Bottendorf. That's Bollendorf. Bettendorf is... Bettendorf. It is under German control. So that was actually a -3 modifier to that. So that's no event. So the bridge isn't damaged after all that. All right, let's roll for the actual roll for 80th Corps. And now it's a +1 modifier, which is a 5, which is event D, which is German bridge construction damaged. German bridge construction at Echternach damaged by US artillery. So wouldn't you believe it? This bridge construction here, the one that I thought was destroyed, which was not, was the other bridge that was destroyed, which was not, it's back down here, but it's not destroyed, it's just damaged. So it's delayed by 1 turn, long-term effect. That's a lot of effort just to delay one bridge, but there we go, resolved. And okay, there's no force down here, which is good. No new bridges being constructed. I can go straight into the movement section. So let's get going here. Oh, okay. What am I looking at here? 3 objectives. First of all, way down the southeast, we might move south to west. These guys will cross over. 1, 2, 3, 4 to cross, and they can't enter that forest because it's too expensive. But they can occupy that victory point location, which is nice. They can't move. They've got 0 movement. They've got 5 to 1 in the woods. Keep in mind this is a night combat. This could be a difficult one, so I might throw some resources at that. There's also artillery down here as well, unless I can go 1, 2. And field artillery can't fire if there are enemy units adjacent. So I've got 2 options here. I could do 10 to 1 here and 10 to 1 here. I could get a big flank attack on the fort. Yeah. These guys still can't get across the river. I don't know what they're going to do. I might just get them just out of the way for now, because there's not going to be a bridge for another 3 or 4 turns. These guys still can't move. The engineers in this hex are still restricted. All my Nebelwerfers here, got my Fusiliers here. I'll get the Fusiliers out of the way again because they still can't cross any river in this area. Right, lots of artillery, which is available. I'll just put them below my headquarters so I can see them a bit clearly and try to remember where they are. Tanks down here, they can just go and move down a bit closer to the bridge to be ready for it. All right, now we're going to move our infantry. Now, like I said, we lost a battalion here in retreat. Defensive 5. Defensive 5, this is going to be tough. I'll cross back over, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but not go any further. I think I'd like to clear down here. I'm worried about this hex. This is probably going to be the most difficult. Christnach and Medernach. They're probably going to be the 2 hardest. This is probably where I'll stumble around here. So let's try and swing down around. I've got these guys protecting this bridge. Looking at this hex with the strength of 5. And this hex with the strength of 5. And what have I got in here? Sorry for my hand. Just 3 in that hex there. But I can't get... Yeah, maybe I'll go 10 on there, 10 on there, 5 on there. Because I really want to get that hex. And maybe I'll throw my Nebelwerfers there at Echternach. This is going to be, it's another town hex as well. So it is, during night, going to be defender doubled and 1 to the left. Do I even want to bother? Or do I just try and surround it? Because it's going to weaken my attacks to the south. I don't think I'd bother about it because 10 to 1 isn't going to be enough. So I'm going to not worry about that. I'm going to launch some attacks here and attacks here. So I haven't done much movement yet. And then I might bring the rest of these guys. This is a clear hex, Birdorf, defensive 4 with a fort. So maybe I try to bring the rest of these guys. That's not a lot. They're relatively weak. Strength of 13. But maybe I can bring some artillery in as well. So 1, 2. Flank attack. Okay, not much happening down here. It's a slow grind. And these guys are not going to be attacking. So we've got 3 attacks happening down here in the south. And I think this is probably the most important. I know this is an objective, but I'm pretty confident with that one. So let's see what I can bring down here. And again, keep in mind the Americans do have artillery here. Not a lot, but enough to sort of upset my plans. So I think this is in the clear, and I think I'll have enough with artillery, because artillery firing in the clear here will be at full combat factors. So let's start working this out. I've got 13. Versus, what did I say? I've looked at this like 3 or 4 times. 4. 13 versus 4. Now I know from the start they've got a village, so +1, and a fort, +1. No engineers. They do have anti-tank. Clear village at night. Clear does 1 to the left at night. All right, so at present we're looking at 3 to 1. I get a -1 for my flank attack. Now let's bring in some artillery. And I do this before the Americans commit anything. So I don't think I'll use my naval efforts for this. As I said, I think I'll just throw in some of my small batteries. So 6, 9, 13. That's a full strength of 13. It's going to give me 26 to 4, which is 5, 6 to 1. I'll mark them as I go. And I'll throw in what do we got over here? Another 2. I've got enough workers there as well, which aren't firing yet. Another 2 plus, why not, another 4. It's another 6, 32. So looking at 32 on 4, which is 8 to 1. 1 to the left. Okay, here we go. Now the Americans are saying, all right, you're throwing a lot of artillery in. We will throw in just that gun, and I'll hold these ones over for later. So it's +3, so it's 7. So looking at 32 on 7, which is 4 to 1. 1 to the left brings it into 3 to 1. And we have, that cancels out, 1 +1 modifier. 3 to 1 with a +1 modifier. 3 to 1 +1. Here we go. Ouch. Not great for the Germans. 3 to 1. 3 to 1. A 4 actually causes a step loss. And then the 3 to 1 6 result is engaged. Okay, not great. That was a lot of resources just for an engaged result and a step loss. That did not go in the German favour. All right, I guess we'll do our second attack down here on Osweiler. We have got 10 to 1. And I'm going to guess that the Americans are going to throw their artillery in. I can almost get. Oh, so sorry. One other thing, their artillery is halved, rounded up. So it was one less factor on that other combat. Would have brought them down to 6. So it was 32 on 6, which is 5 to 1. Okay, that would have changed things. The 4 wouldn't have caused the step loss. And the 6 would have caused a counterattack result rather than engaged. So defensive artillery, when you bring in defensive artillery as well, they're also modified by the nature of the attacker. Because the attacker is coming from multiple hexes, I need to find a counterattack marker. Because the attacker is coming from multiple hexes, their defensive artillery is less effective. It's also at night time as well. Oh, in fact, one other thing. My field artillery should be halved. I don't know why I said full. Geez, okay. So what it has, 32... Oh God, stuff this up. 11. So what's 32 minus 11? It's 21. Half that is 10, 11. So it should be 22. Should have been 22 on 4, which is 5 to 1. 1 to the left, 4 to 1. No, I must have done that. Oh no, 4, 5, 6. 3 to 1, which goes 2 to 1. The 3 goes to a 4, which is a 1 hit. Okay, so they reapply that step loss. The 5 goes to a 6, which is no effect. Okay, geez. Third combat result. Yeah, there we go. So, offensive artillery, because it's a night turn, got to remember it's a night turn. This is, again, just variable conditions. During a night turn, there's a different effect for field artillery. And the effect is that they're halved instead of being at full strength. And defensive artillery is similarly affected. They're halved during night turns when the enemy attacks from multiple hexes. Okay, like I said, that's what makes this game hard, those variable factors. So you think you learn something, you think, okay, artillery is at full strength in the clear. And then it's like, well, hold on, it's a night turn, so you've got to remember this. Or don't forget the enemy's attacking from variable hexes, so it's a different row. All right, so now let's look here, get back to here. We're looking at this combat here. We've got 10 to 1 base. I should have used my Neverwerfers up there. We're going to use them here though, because I want to win this combat. And we've got 6 plus 16 is 22. 22 plus 10 is 32. Nebelwerfers firing in any condition. So it doesn't matter if they're firing at night. They don't care. In the clear, are at full strength. So that's massive. 42 to 1. Okay. And I don't think I'll bother throwing my artillery at this, because that'll make it 6. That makes it 7 to 1 anyway. So I'm not going to bother with my artillery, maybe save it for this other combat coming up. So they still get the +1 and the +2 for the village. So it's 7 to 1 plus 2. 7 to 1 plus 2. The 5-7 does no hits. And the 3 goes up to a 5 is a DR4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I can advance into that hex, but yep, stop there. A robot assistant would be awesome. Calculate the factors. Yeah. All right, so now last combat down here, throwing the rest of my artillery at this. I've got 10 to 1. Now they don't have a fort. Oh, it should have been 2 to the left. Sorry. Yeah, it was 42. It was 42 to 1. So that becomes 40 to 1, which is still uses a 7 to 1 column. All right, so we start here with 10 to 1. I'm throwing all my artillery, all my remaining artillery here. So we get 10, what do we got here? 15, 20, 5, 10, 15, 20. That's a lot of artillery. 30, 33. 33 at night in the clear is halved to 16 and a half. 17 brings me to 27 to 1. I missed that artillery, I don't know if I counted it. 27, 28, let's say. But of course the Americans will throw their artillery to make it 20 up to 28 to 6. Running out of ink. Which is 4 to 1. So we're looking at 4 to 1. Germans actually have the AR here, so it's -1, and it's in woods at night. So woods at night is just 1 to the left. So 4 to 1 becomes 3 to 1, 3 to 1 minus 1. 3 to 1 minus 1, I think that's it. 3 to 1 minus 1. Okay, this might be okay. The 4 becomes a 3, which is no effect. And the 3 becomes a 2, which is a DR2 result. 1, 2, and we'll advance. Okay, and that's the end of the German turn. Of course, the Americans remove their fired markers. And I'll just double check there's no exploitation. Bridge construction. So we flip our bridge construction markers over 1, 2, 3, and this one is damaged, so it just gets delayed. And that's it, folks. So, yeah, as I said, getting quicker. I did the whole German turn in about an hour. I'll wrap it up here, and I'll go through this sort of American administration, which could take a while, and have a think about what the Americans want to do. I think this is their main area of concern. We do have engineers here. It's a decent stack. Got some more engineers up in Wiltz. A bit of a gap through here, so they need to somehow put something here. They've got a vulnerability here around Edelbrook. So this is a CP and some artillery, more artillery, headquarters. So there's not many combat units. These are the 2 combat units in this area. Actually, there's 3 there. So they need to bring this armour around. This is what I've kind of been holding this armour in reserve, but got to watch as well their headquarters. So these guys, I think the headquarters is there. So they'll be able to flip over this turn and go 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They can't quite make it, so I'm going to have to rely on the 28th Infantry Division to hold out. And these guys just built these defences, but they might have to pack it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah. So they, this is also, oh no, that's okay, that's 9th Armoured. They were the 28th, these guys in there, I think, that I was worried about. So yeah, they will pack up and retreat to the west. They won't be able to reach Edelbrook. These guys, 1, 2, 3, they can reach. They can both reach. So we'll bring the 28th around to the west side here of the Wilts River area and have 9th Armoured in the centre. So it's pretty much, yeah. And 4th Division holding, really being penned in down here in the south. You can see the 276 has split them. Yep, that's 9th Armoured Division. So you've got 9th Armoured, 4th Division penned in down here, surrounded pretty much. So this is the 4th Division pocket. There are no units of the 4th Division outside this little area. And the Germans just have 2 more objectives to capture. With the this is also a pre-dawn turn coming up soon as well. So basically 4 more turns for the Germans to capture a lot more objectives. Like I said, it's this one here that I think they're going to struggle with, because the loss of the battalion here, the retreat, they don't have a lot. They've got 1 battalion basically in this whole area. And I don't know how to, and the failure of this combat here, the step loss there, 276 basically are struggling. They're really, really struggling. And they can't get their armour across the river. And I don't know what to do. The 212th isn't going to be able to push through the entire 4th Division to get out here. Maybe 352nd can push down quite rapidly. You're going to need, I might have to slow down my attack on Edelbrook and start pushing down here instead. But like I said, folks, I'll do that. That's long-term planning. So basically, we're looking. If we've got this unit here, 5th Fallschirmjäger, they might have to put some pressure on this road to help 352nd push down through here to enable 352nd to push on towards that final, what I think will be the final objective. Chris, I just think that's going to be tough. Just looking at this German army here, I know the 276 is just there, but these are, I think I've shown on the combat results table how tough, how you really need a lot of power, and pretty soon that artillery is going to be out of range. They're at 5, so they're pretty much just on the edge of their range now, hitting these units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A lot of these units have 8, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can see the limit of a lot of this artillery is going to be just outside that hex. So yeah, this is the one I'm worried about. Yeah. Okay, if 276 can clear this, there's still Echternach to worry about. There's still Schneidgen to worry about. I did bump one of those markers, so I need to figure out what this other objective is. It might be Welscheld here, right in the centre. I need to check the rule book, the scenario book. Yeah, scenario book will tell me. What is it? It's not, these are the objectives, incidentally. They're all listed like this. So it's not there's one down the bottom here I bumped as well. And it's not Mersch, I thought it was Mersch. So there's 2 other objectives that I need to think about. Scheren isn't one. Echternach is one. Diekirch is not one. Fuelen is not one. So I've got two excess. Oh, wow, there's 10 objectives here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, so I've bumped these two from somewhere. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, just one. I've bumped one off the map. Beaufort is not an objective, so I don't need to worry. I could just pin these guys in here and surround them. If the 276 can come, so maybe pincer move time. We come straight, we clear this hex out here and we come down here. Is this an objective? Burdorf? No, it's not. So I can come straight down here. Is that an objective? Consdorf? Nope. That's the German plan. We're going to have the 85th Corps swing around. I'm pretty confident they can take Echternach. We'll see what how the Americans respond. I shouldn't be talking about this because the Americans will hear my plans. But they'll come down here, and then 276 will swing around to the right here, and we'll try not to worry about these guys in the middle. So that also means 352nd shifting around to the right, to the left rather, of these positions, kind of on the front, and not worrying about those guys. Well, they're about to pack up and go anyway. This position here with a lot, this is a defense of 5, 6, 7, 8 in a good improved position. I'm not going to worry about it. Just going to try and get behind here. Yeah, all right. I'll do the American turn. The Americans don't tend to do much. They're I want to say not much. They've got a couple scattering of units. They're really just pulling back. They're going to put these armor right in front of the arrows to block these plans. 4th Division is going to be a problem. They are holding out really well. But now, if you see what I've done here with the 212th. So the 212th have kind of pushed in the sides here. This artillery now can no longer fire. In fact, they shouldn't have fired at all, should they? I won the combat anyway, so it doesn't matter. But if they had an enemy unit adjacent, they shouldn't have fired. I don't know if they did or not. But what I want to do now is bring my infantry up, surround Echternach, and finish it off. 5 factors there. We've got only 3 factors, 3 defensive combat factors, which has just been brought to the American players' attention. And there's a big, good infantry battalion there. Choices. So maybe the American turn will be a bit longer than it often is, as they're thinking about how they can slow these Germans down. All right, folks, thanks for watching. Take care, and I will catch you all later.